War, famine, disease, earthquakes, chaos. Every time disaster strikes, people ask, are we living in the end times? Some claim the signs of the apocalypse are happening right now. But what does the Bible really say? And how much of it is just speculation? Today, we will uncover the truth about biblical prophecy, separate facts from myths, and explore what the future may hold. Stay with us. The word apocalypse comes from the Greek apokalypsis, meaning revelation or unveiling. It's not just about destruction, it's about revealing divine truth. The book of Revelation, written by John, is filled with visions, symbols, and prophecies about the ultimate victory of good over evil. For centuries, people have interpreted these prophecies in different ways. Some saw them as purely symbolic, while others believed they described real-world events. But have we misunderstood their true meaning? Let's explore the biblical signs of the end times and compare them with the world today. Jesus warned in Matthew 24:6, "You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come." Throughout history, wars have been a constant reality. The Roman Empire waged brutal conquests, the Middle Ages were filled with bloody conflicts, and the 20th century saw 2 world wars that reshaped the planet. Today, we see ongoing tensions in the Middle East, conflicts between world superpowers, and rising fears of global warfare. But are wars increasing, or do we just hear about them more due to modern media? The Bible warns that conflicts will happen, but it also urges believers not to panic prematurely. War has always been part of human history, and while it is a sign to watch, it does not necessarily mean the end is near. Luke 21:11 mentions great earthquakes, famines, and pestilences in various places. Many believe recent natural disasters and pandemics confirm this prophecy. Hurricanes, wildfires, and earthquakes seem more frequent and destructive. The COVID-19 pandemic reminded us how fragile life is. But how does this compare to the past? In the 14th century, the Black Death wiped out nearly half of Europe's population. In the 1800s, volcanic eruptions caused global cooling and widespread famine. Looking at history, disasters have always occurred. The difference now? We have instant global reporting, making it feel like these events are more frequent than they actually are. Another heavily debated prophecy is found in Revelation 13:16-17, which says, "It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark." Some say this refers to modern technology, credit cards, digital currencies, microchips. Others fear a future where a global government controls the economy. But is the mark of the beast a physical mark, or is it something deeper? Many scholars believe the mark symbolizes allegiance, either to God or to evil. It may not be about technology at all, but rather about spiritual commitment. While financial systems are evolving, the Bible's true message focuses on where our hearts and loyalties lie. False prophets are another major sign of the end times. Matthew 24:24 warns, "For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect." Over history, many have falsely predicted the end of the world, whether it was in 1988, the year 2000, or the infamous 2012 Mayan calendar prophecy. Yet here we are. Jesus himself said in Matthew 24:36, "No one knows the day or the hour, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father." This means that setting specific dates for the apocalypse is not only misleading, but also contradicts the Bible. The key is not to fear false predictions, but to remain spiritually prepared at all times. Some believe modern Israel plays a key role in biblical prophecy. The State of Israel was re-established in 1948 after nearly 2,000 years, leading many to connect this event with Ezekiel 37, which describes the restoration of Israel. But is this a direct fulfillment of prophecy? Some theologians argue that the biblical Israel refers to all of God's people, not just a physical nation. While Israel's history is significant, it is important not to force every political event into a prophetic timeline. Revelation 17 speaks of a powerful beast that influences nations. Some believe this refers to a future one-world government or an authoritarian system that will control people's lives. With advancements in AI, mass surveillance, and digital IDs, fears of global control are growing. But has the Bible predicted this? Or are we shaping our interpretation based on modern fears? Many past empires like Rome and Babylon fit biblical descriptions of oppressive powers. The important lesson? Every generation sees its own version of the beast, but ultimate control always belongs to God. Amidst all these signs, one truth remains. The message of the Bible is ultimately about hope. Revelation does not end with destruction. It ends with renewal. The final chapters describe a new heaven and a new earth where suffering is no more. This is not a story of fear, but of faith. The Bible assures us that, no matter how dark the times, God is in control. His plan is one of redemption, not just judgment. So how should we live in light of all this? Should we panic and withdraw from the world? No. The Bible encourages us to be faithful, wise, and loving. Instead of fearing the future, we should focus on growing in faith, helping others, and staying spiritually awake. Jesus calls us to be lights in the darkness, not to live in fear. Revelation 13 speaks of a future system where the world is controlled through a mark that determines who can buy and sell. With rapid advancements in technology, some believe we are moving toward this reality. Digital currencies, biometric IDs, artificial intelligence, and global surveillance have raised concerns. Could these be the tools of control described in the Bible? Or are they simply neutral technologies that can be used for good or evil? Many scholars argue that technology itself isn't the issue. It's how humanity chooses to use it. The real test may not be avoiding technology, but ensuring our allegiance remains with God. 2 Timothy 3:1-5 warns that in the last days people will become lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy. Today we see a rise in moral decline, violence, corruption, and a rejection of traditional values. Social unrest, the redefinition of ethics, and a culture obsessed with self-gratification all point to a world increasingly detached from spiritual truth. But is this a sign of the end, or just another cycle in human history? While societies have always faced moral struggles, the Bible warns that lawlessness will increase before Christ's return. But rather than despair, believers are called to stand firm in their faith and be examples of righteousness in a darkening world. In Matthew 24:14, Jesus states, "And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come." With the rise of the internet, social media, and global communication, the message of Christ is spreading faster than ever before. The Bible has been translated into more languages than at any point in history. Missionaries are reaching places that were once closed to the gospel. Could this be the final piece before the return of Christ? Many see this rapid evangelism as one of the clearest signs that prophecy is being fulfilled. The urgency isn't just about recognizing the times, but about actively sharing the message of salvation. 2 Thessalonians 2:3 warns of a great apostasy, a falling away from faith, before the rise of the Antichrist. We live in a time where many are leaving the church, questioning long-held beliefs, and embracing secularism. Even some churches are compromising biblical truth to fit modern culture. But is this the great falling away spoken of in prophecy, or just another challenge to faith? While faith has always faced opposition, the Bible indicates that in the last days, deception will be at an all-time high. The real question is, will you stand firm in your beliefs, even when the world turns away? After all the signs, warnings, and prophecies, the Bible ends with a promise: Christ will return. Revelation 22:12 says, "Look, I am coming soon. My reward is with me, and I will give to each person according to what they have done." While some focus on fear and uncertainty, the true message of Revelation is one of victory and hope. For believers, the end times are not about panic, but about preparing with faith and expectation. So, as we witness global events unfold, the call is not to live in fear, but to live with purpose. The question isn't just whether we are in the end times, but whether we are ready, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, for whatever comes next. So what's the conclusion? Are we in the end times? Maybe. But instead of focusing on predicting dates, we should focus on what truly matters: faith, love, and trust in God. The apocalypse is not about fear, it's about faith. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into biblical prophecy. And let's continue the discussion in the comments. What do you think about the signs of the apocalypse? Until next time, stay strong in faith.